We took a nice look at the rotary polisher. We took a nice look at the 21 mil long throw polisher. We took a look at all of the pads individual. Today we are going to take a look at the shorter throw polisher. It's not an entry level. Entry level would be an 8 or 12 inch throw on a polisher. This would be intermediate and would be probably the popular of the three because it won't get you into trouble. Let me know what influences you think were behind the design of the polisher in different areas. I see 3 or 4 different polishers from different makes that were probably an inspiration in this design. But let's take a closer look and see how it performs, and we'll tear it down and take a look at the inside. Out of the box, you get the polisher itself. It comes with the backing plate already attached. There's nothing to put together. The cord, the instruction manual, we have brushes and an Allen key to remove the backing plate, and you get 4 pads to come with. The only thing you need to do is pick something out for a correction fluid, and you are ready to correct paint. 120 volt rated voltage. We have an orbit of 15 millimeters with a backing plate that's 5 inch. We have a power cord that is just under 10 feet at 9 feet 10 inches. Backing plate thread will be 5/16. On the inside, we have a 900 watt precision power motor. We have a 15 mil throw, and I'll show you that when we fire it up. That is how the backing plate oscillates. It oscillates and rotates, making it a dual action polisher, and we'll check that out during the operational part of the review. 1700 to 5200 RPM, no load speed. Just like the other one, it has this platypus foregrip here with carbon fiber design on the top and a nice soft ergonomic rubber foregrip right here. We have a hook and loop backing plate that has plenty of ventilation holes to keep the pad cool, to keep the surface cool. We have a 2-sided trigger, or a large one that you can access on either side depending on if you're left-handed or right-handed. There are 3 vents here. One that will cool the gearbox. That's your pinion gear and your ring gears in there. And then the casing gets pretty warm, so that vent helps keeps it cool. You have your venting in the backing plate. You also have venting here and here. So this panel here you could take off with a Phillips head screw, and you could change out your brushes that way. But air is also pulled through here and through a screen to filter out contaminants and dust particles, and it whisks it through the engine compartment here, the motor, and then it comes right out where the fan here blows it right out, and there are the same types of vents on both sides. You also have this stabilizing piece of rubber here, so you can set it upside down and it'll keep it from falling over and letting your pad touch the floor either way here. Trigger switch, it's a long one, it's a wide one, it's rubber, it's soft, and you have a locking mechanism right here. It has soft start, and just like all the other ones, it has the swivel pigtail here. Throw it up on the shoulders, it's not going to fight you. A really neat option. Dimensions are important to some. The weight is important to some. Just under 6 pounds, exactly what the 21 millimeter throw was, the long throw polisher. So you have an idea of the weight you're going to be bearing on your shoulders. Important if you use these like we do here all day long, all week long, every day. Other dimensions that could be important in case you're picking a unit for a certain type of job. Do you work on RVs? Do you work on boats? Do you just correct cars? And the clearance and the length and the width may be something that you are interested in when picking out a polisher. Overall length of the unit is just under 17 inches from tip to tip. The clearance from the bottom of the plate to the top of the polisher, 5 inches, a little over 5 inches, so you could squeeze it under, you know, whatever you need to squeeze it into. Overall width at the widest part of the polisher is 3.5 inches. The grip is about 1.75 inches. My hands are skinny, but the fingers are long, and it's a nice, comfortable grip around. You see where my fingers end up, perfectly right over top of that wide trigger. The dial, wide, can be accessed from either side. Can you hear this? Nice tactile feedback. All right, let's tear this baby down and see what type of quality materials were used to put this together. If any, maybe they're not quality. All right, obviously when you tear down any tool, you make sure it's powered down and unplugged or the battery's disconnected. For the polisher here, we're going to first remove So it has the typical shape, and you should be able to easily source one from eBay to go from 5-inch to 6-inch or 6-inch to 5-inch. I know the long throw polisher, you'll definitely need to source a 5-inch. All right, so with the backing plate removed, we have a counterbalance here, and we need to remove that. That's 3 Phillips head screws. Be careful with these. Some are really tight. You do not want to strip. The counterbalance. That alone weighs just a little over 6 ounces. With the balance weight out of the way, we're going to have 4 more Phillips head screws, and then we can remove the shroud, and then the top of the gear case comes off, and we could separate the pinion gear from the ring gear as well. There we have it. Let's get all of the screws out of there before they get lost. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing really remarkable about the shroud here. We do have some markings on the inside. Not sure if you can read that. That's PA6 GF30. That's the type of plastic used. Anything stamped GF30 PA6 is going to be polyamide, also known as nylon 6. It's strong, it's heat resistant, good impact resistant. Common in automotive components as well. The GF30 means 30% glass fiber reinforced. It adds the stiffness and toughness, makes the plastic more heat resistant as well, makes it less flexible, yeah. Great for stress and structural integrity, and a great casing material. And we're also immediately going to be able to remove the ring gear from the pinion gear, and you see that that grease there. That's got to go. That I'm not sure what grade that is, but that definitely has to go. All the teeth look in great shape. Yeah, it is brand new, but you never do know. I don't see any other stampings. CNC machined. I do see some stamping, and it's kind of hard to read. Maybe we'll see some more, but I will be taking that grease out of there, and I will be packing it, repacking it. And you don't want to overpack it, by the way. When you clean this out, you want to fill that up to the same level. And I like to use either the Wolfhead's Red or the Schaefer's 238 Ultra Supreme. That's a synthetic blend for extreme pressure. Now, the next thing we want to do is get this platypus fore handle out of the way. So not only do these caps cover the threads that you could put the handle on, which would be either side, but they also hold the foregrip in place as well. And they're just plastic threads, so when you do put it back together, do not over tighten. And this should slide forward, just like so. And we should see that GS30 stamped in here somewhere. It's probably all the way front. I don't see it. GS30. I don't see it, but I'm pretty sure it's all going to be the same grade plastics. Put that to the side. Now, next thing we want to do is remove these 4 Phillips head screws, and then we should be able to slide the motor out as well. All right, so just ever so carefully pull that out of there, and I'm seeing some really, really good things. Only one thing that I'm seeing here that I would like a little bit different, but other than that, so far, so good. So let me go over this with you. So far, we have the plastics. I don't see any real stamps on the metal, but it does, you know, with the weight being a little bit heavier, about a ½ pound heavier than a lot of the machines, that's going to come in the metal as well as the plastic. But, all right, so the laminations, nice and clean and smooth all the way around. The field windings are coated. I'm not sure if you can see that shiny stuff that's on the field windings there, and where they overlap each other is where they're heavily coated, and that's important because that not only protects the field windings, guys, but that keeps everything in place. These machines are spinning and vibrating all day, every day if you use them, so that's very important. So they are coated all the way through to this side, coming out the other end here, on the other end of the laminations. And something I was really excited to see is if they had epoxy where the field windings meet the commutator here. Commutator looks nice and clean. And this is what the brushes run up against. And when the field windings come up and attach to that, you want an epoxy to hold them in place so they do not fray and come loose and short the polisher. If they short the polisher and you don't know how to fix it, it's done. Excellent. So we got some Japanese bearings here instead of the Chinese bearings. That's good to see. Those are quality. The only thing that I see so far that I would want different is I like these fan blades to be directional for better airflow up through to keep the motor cool. I'm sure they were designed with the shape of this in mind and do a great job, but I like the directional better myself. Let's see if the field windings in here are coated as well. And I know it's going to be hard to see, but field windings are going to be all the way down through to the brushes on either side, and they are coated, and that is a good sign. Excellent, excellent. And you can see all the way down through there. Okay, now, some other things I want to see. I want to take care of the business end here, so I want to take these screws out. They're all Phillips head screws, and then we will be able to open up and see how clean the wiring is, see what the connectors look like. There should be a small motherboard in there that runs the machine. I want to see that that's coated as well.
When you pull this area apart, you always want to be cautious.
Take these vents off right here. Again, that goes into your brushes. That's where the brushes get replaced. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Let me get this apart. Keep everything together here. I did hear one screw go down. There's one. And the rest are still in it. Put those right there. Anything else going to come out? No. So we should be able to pull this apart now. And here we are. So very, very careful. Here's the trigger. There's one more screw. Let me get rid of that. So we have the trigger, and I'm trying to see, it's not stamped with the GS30, but it's going to be the same thermoplastics all the way through. All right, so what I'm seeing so far, we have a 7 amp switch for the trigger here, and the wiring coming in from the pigtail with that socket. That's how that works. Just rolls around in there. All the wiring is nice and clean and soldered. There's no, they don't use cheap connectors or really anything that I don't like to see. Here are your brushes, and what you would do is you would come in with a tool like this and you would pull up on this spring. And you pull that up and bring it to the side, bring it over to this side right here, and then pull up on this wire right here. Pull up in that wire, and that's going to pull the brush up, and you just disconnect the wire right here. It pulls, there's a connector right here, a brass connector. Do that on both sides, put the new brushes in, you are ready to roll, put those vents back in, and you're ready to get back to work. Let me see, so 7 amp switch, that looks good. Let me see if we have some reading on here. So this switch right here is labeled an FA2 5M from Jaiben. And that's a company overseas. That's a very common switch. The FA2 stands for two-stage variable speed trigger, and that's used in a lot of the AC tools. 5M indicates 5 amp. It's a 5 amp class switch, which often means 5 to 7 amps, depending on the model. That's a 7 amp. I saw that right away. 21 refers to the functional configuration. That's without a lock button, reversible, built-in speed controller. So very standard and on all of the high-end tools that I see. The next thing I want to look at is the quote-unquote motherboard here. That's where all of the decisions are made, and I want to make sure that that's coated and see if it's protected or not. a little hard to see. So okay, so here's the news. The whole board isn't coated like some are, but where the connectors come in, the area in and around where it's connected is coated with a gray substance. I know you can't, it's hard to see that in there. So some good. The whole thing's not coated, but it's partially coated, and that keeps things protected, and that's good news to see. So the only thing that I did not like in here, which is okay, is going to be the straight blades instead of directional. Directional gives a little bit better airflow, and then a partially instead of fully coated motherboard, so to speak. Everything else is high standards for me, and is common for a quality, durable tool. Okay, all back together again, and we corrected this part with the long throw polisher. Did an excellent job, and we have messed up area here, so I'll just mask this area off, and we'll see if the shorter throw will still be able to take care of some of that mess, any of it. I don't know, we'll find out. All right, let's play. We have the polisher. I'm going to attach a Eurofiber 50/50 pad, and we have a compound here. Let's see what type of work we can do. I do want to fire this up for you first so you can hear it. We'll start on the low speed setting and work our way all the way up to speed 6. Oh wow, starting out quiet. Speed 6. And all the way in between, speed 3. Very smooth. And that's with the polisher, you know, without a pad and off of the panel. Once you get a pad on there and you're on the panel, it should be very, very smooth. So, let's get this attached. I like to make sure that that is perfectly centered. There we go, that will do. Shake up your compound, no matter what it is. Season the pad. Especially if it's microfiber or wool. Maybe not quite as important for foam, but I still do it for foam as well. And we got the swivel pigtails so we can throw it up off the side of the shoulder here. Very easy. Let's spread out. And we will do the correction between the 3rd and 4th speed setting. All right, that was one pass from left to right. Now before we go up and back, I want to push down, and you can see how much pressure it takes to slow that down and stall it a little bit. And that's my weight bending over and putting my weight on the polisher. By the way, when you install a polisher, it's not easy to do, and you stop the oscillation or the rotation, it's still going to oscillate and do a lot of correction. Misconception that when it stops rotating, it's not doing any work. It's just that the naked eye cannot see how fast it's oscillating, and that's doing a lot of work. Always let your machine come to a complete stop before you pick it up off the panel. It's easier for your gears, the backing plate, the pad, and the polisher itself. Get the most out of it. These things, they're not cheap. Let's wipe off the residue. Just messing around there. Have we done any decent work removing some of the imperfections? I know we're not going to remove all of it. I mean, the hood's not on the vehicle for a reason. Oh yeah, lots of work done, definitely. And we were just messing around there. We weren't serious about what we were doing. Come over and grab you. Oh yeah, that's how it was, and that's what we did. Just the deeper stuff that's through the clear is left over. Very nice, and the machine is nice and smooth. It gives you a nice, smooth ride across the panel. It's not loud, it's not obnoxious, a pleasure to work with. From what I've seen and what I've felt and what I've heard playing with these polishers so far, I'm going to go ahead and give them an 8 out of 10. That's really, really, really good because nothing gets a 10 out of 10 on this channel. There's nothing that's perfect. A 10 out of 10 is perfect where it needs no improvements whatsoever, and there is no such product or tool out there. It may reach a 9 out of 10 after about a year or so of me correcting with this thing almost on a daily basis. I'm semi-retired now, so I don't do it like I used to all day long every single day. But they're going to get used rather hard, and I'm going to give these to the boys as well. So will it turn into a 9 out of 10? Who knows? You shall see. If it does, I will let you know. I will have these featured, correcting cars, and plenty of videos coming up. So if something happens to them, you will be the first to know. I don't give a crap if you buy them or don't. I'm happy. I have them. If you want them, you can look into them, and I'll have some information down below along with the link. I'll catch you in the next video.